Alright, this is applications of division. And with applications of division, it basically means word problems when you see that word application. So what I want you to do is, it's going to be fairly long. This is probably going to be a 10 to 11 minute video, maybe even more, because obviously I don't know. I'm starting it now. So you want to settle in, get a cup of coffee or tea, something, because this is going to take a little bit. And it's a very important video, because it's going to do is you're going to look at word problems. You're going to know very quickly whether it's division and then how to set up the division problem. Alright, before we start, we got to do a little review of what division actually means. And one of the different ways of looking at division is repeated subtraction. So if you have 6 divided by 3, what it means is how many times does 3 go into 6, right? It's our inverse of multiplication. So what they're asking is, how many times can you put 3 into 6? So let's find out. Well, if you take and go the reverse and remove the 3's, that'll tell you how many times. So 6 minus 3 is 3. 3 minus 3 is 0. It was 2 subtractions. So the answer is 2. And the way to look at it is this. You have 6, and it's asking how many groups of 3 can you shove into 6. So let's look. If you take them and break them up, we get 2 groups of 3. And that's what division is. One of the ways of looking at it is saying you're given some number, and how many groups of that size can you put into that number. So when you look at a problem like this, Jim has, right here, Jim has 15 pizzas. If he gave 3 pizzas to each of his friends, then how many friends does he have? So what we're doing is taking those 15 pizzas, because that's what we're starting with. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And we're grouping them into groups of 3. And how many groups is that? 5. And that's how you want to read a division. It's 15 groups. Sorry, not 15 groups. It's 15 divided into groups of 3. And then number of groups is our answer. So when you read it, it's what we're starting with, 15 divided by the size of a group, and it gives you the answer, 5. 5 friends, because that's the group that we're making. We're making friends. So I want you to try the next one. I want you to look at the problem and think, what am I taking, and what size group am I creating from that thing? Okay, so hit pause, read the problem, try it, and when you feel like you got the answer, unpause the video. Okay, and there we go. That would be your answer. So 10 divided by 3, because we had 10 cars in total. Sorry, let me get my cursor over there. You have 10 cars in total, and then we're going to divide it into groups of 3, because he's going to give 3 cars to each of his friends. And if it looked at it, it's like, okay, I'm going to give friend number 1 3, and then another 3. This is our repeated subtraction. You have 10, and you're going to take away 3 to give to one friend, take away another 3 to give to another friend, another 3 to another friend, and then, oh, I've only got 1 left over. So he had 3 friends, friend 1, friend 2, friend 3, and 1 left over, remainder 1. And that's how you set up your divisions, is that the thing you have divided into groups of friends for 3. Okay, so here's the next part. This is called paritative division, or you can think of it as sharing equally, which is what I like better. And just like before, what we were doing is taking a certain amount and dividing into groups of that size. You could actually say, well, what if I wanted to take 6 and then divide it into 3 groups? How much would be in each group? It's the reverse of saying before. So right now we're saying we have some total. Oops, wrong location. We have some total here. Total, not totad. And then we're going to divide it into 3 groups to get the number in each group. So a total divided into those group size, into the number of groups that we totally have, and that's the number in each group that we're going to give for an answer. So if you look at this one, a little bit similar problem as before, but a little bit change. Jim has 15 pizzas. If he has 5 friends, then how many pieces of pizza will each friend get? And I just made a mistake. Jim has 15 pizzas. How many pizzas, not pieces, how many pizzas did each friend get? So we have a total of 15 pizzas, and then we're going to divide it into 5 groups, and so we would get 3 pizzas per friend. And that's our division. You have the 2 different situations where you're going to take some number and you're going to divide it into that size of group, or you're going to take some total and divide it by the number of groups you're going to create. So try this one. So again, hit pause and try it. And there's your answer. If you take 10, the total, you divide it into 3 friends, divide those 10 among 3 friends, you get 3 with 1 left over. Can you kind of see why they call it a remainder? It's because that's what it is. It's remaining. And even in applications, it's what's left over. It's what's remaining, not divided. It has not been put into groups. And it's not of a size group. It's just extra. So we have it 1 left over. So Thomas gave each of his friends 3 toy cars, and he had 1 left over. What this means is we had, if you look at it, we had 10 toy cars, and then he divided among 3 friends to get 3 cars per friend with 1 left over. And that's how you can look at a division. So again, if you're taking something, some total, and you're going to divide it among 3 people, or you're going to divide it into a group of 3, that's division. Okay. You can also think of division as missing factors. So, what times 10 gives you 40? Well, that's 4. I want you to fill in the rest. So hit pause and fill in the rest for me. Okay, so 6 times what gives you 72? You could sit here and go 6 times what, 6 times what, or you could just take 72 and divide it by 6. And then the same thing here, you take 70, divide it by 5, and it gives you 14. You can think of division as viewed as a missing factor. There's something that you could multiply by. So like this one, Jim collects toy cars. If he collects 5 toy cars a week, how long did it take him to collect 55 toy cars? So you could think, well, it's 5 cars times the number of weeks will give him 55 cars. So again, we're missing a factor. So 55 divided by 5 would have to be 11 cars. It is actually repeated subtraction. You're going to have 55 cars, and then if you want to work your way back. So it was 50 before, and then 45, and then 40, and then 35, and 30, and so on until you get back to 0, and then that took him 11 weeks, right? But here we go. You could just say reverse of multiplication.